the Crafty Toads. This is episode 25. And we are a knitting podcast. Well, we're a podcast about knitting and crafty things, sometimes crocheting and sometimes sewing, and a little bit of dyeing yarn. So we are all about fiber and fiber products. I am Mary Beth. You can find me everywhere as Mary Beth 494, mostly Ravelry and Instagram.
I am Helen, and you can find me as Helen HG69 on Ravelry and Instagram as well. And we are the owners of Toad Hollow. We make knitting project bags. We dye yarn, and you can find us there as Toad Hollow NJ on Etsy, toadhollowNJ.com, and Toad Hollow NJ on
Popping
Instagram and Periscope.
Yeah, we pop up and leave comments under Toad Hollow NJ. We have not really gotten into Periscoping yet, so we say this every week.
Well, we show up on Periscope as a viewer.
Right.
So if you see Toad Hollow NJ on Knit24's Periscope, so that's us.
That's us. And we have two dogs, Spike and Drusilla. You may have just heard one of them drinking. It comes across very loudly for some reason. We apologize. And hopefully there will be no barking today, right? No barking.
Spike is currently garbage picking.
Yes.
That's what he does.
This is our life. But anyway, you may hear them. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. Episode 25, a quarter of a century.
Yes.
Drew is saying happy birthday. No, it's we are on episode 25. I can't believe we made it to 25. Yeah, we actually stuck with it.
We did. Yeah.
We weren't even sure we were going to do this, and then to actually stick with it
and get 25 in.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
This is good.
And we're like almost just about 2 months away from 1 year.
Yeah,
because the end of March.
It was actually April Fool's Day was when we put it up.
Yeah, March 31st was the time-lapse video.
Yeah, right. Our first colossal cock-up. But anyway. All right. What shall we talk about? We have a Ravelry page. It is the Crafty Toads. We have a Ravelry page that is the Crafty Toads. Please come join us. We are in the midst of doing a knit-along there with Tome Time Reading and Knitting. Okay. And it is the Lyrical Cow, which is doing it around song lyrics. So we are asking you if you are going to enter anything, and it can be anything. Please just link it up to some kind of song. You know, I have put my finished object in there, even though I am not eligible for prizes. However, and I'm going to say this, the only reason I finished it was because it was a gift, and I had to get it done to give it to the lady who I was giving it to, but my 100-acre wood shawl is there. So I just put that up the other day. And I also entered it into Legacy Knit's Cold Shoulder Cow.
Oh, cool.
So I actually entered something finished into somebody else's cow, which is so cool. But please come join us. It's going to what, March 15th?
March 15th.
March 15th. So you still have plenty of time to knit stuff, enter it in, and there will be prizes.
Or, frog what you're working on and come up with something new.
There you go, because that works too. If it's not working, then frog it and start something new. Go with something. Knitting should be enjoyable. So don't knit something that you're not having fun with, right?
Yeah.
That's just...
There's so many other things to knit, so it'll just sit there and languish. So if you hadn't guessed, I am frogging my Joker the Thief. And I will come up with something new.
Well, we'll find something.
Yeah, so I have to figure out how snow melt works into a song lyric. But,
there's got to be something we can do.
Gotta be something.
Yeah, all right. So, yes.
Come join our Ravelry group.
One of my goals for this year is to try and get my projects on.
Yeah.
So, and I've been trying to do that as I do them. So I'm working on that.
And it would be great to get the stash on.
I did that for my sock yarn. For some of my sock yarn.
Okay.
Because we had talked about doing knitting socks every month. And so I have the sock yarn that I picked out for the 11 months coming up.
Oh, and you got them on?
Those 11 are on.
Oh, cool.
Nothing else, but those 11 are on.
Well, I mean, when you go to the project page, it'll be easier.
Well, that's the thing, and you can pick it and say, I'm going to do a project with this knit from stash.
Yeah.
So people have a lot to say, and they need to stop. Okay, so Shall we
Okay,
go?
fine. I'm gonna knit with your new yarn. He just stuck his head in the acquisitions bag because he knows that'll get everybody's attention.
Right. Well, should we do? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we talk about knit night? We actually made it to knit night for the first time in
a long time.
a really long time. We made it to knit night
Well,
at Chelsea Yarns.
and not only made it, we actually sat down at the table and knit.
Yeah, it was so nice, you know, because the only time we really knit in public is at the pub when we're doing trivia, and A, you can't see, and B, you've got noise pounding at you because he keeps everything very loud so that the table next to you can't hear you talking about your answers. So it's just loud and dark and it's crazy. It doesn't stop us from bringing knitting, but it's loud and crazy. So it was so nice to sit and talk to people. And all right, so we did that, and we while we were there, we met some new knitters that we didn't. Well, we had met Ellie before, right?
Yeah.
But
Ellie brought her daughter. Hi, Kita.
Hi.
And she is 9 years old, and she was wearing a cowl she had knit herself, and she was sitting at the table and knitting a new cowl for her grandmother, which was so cool. So
yeah, it's so cool to see new knitters, you know, and young knitters. So it was very cool. So hi, Gitta, and hi, Ellie, and hi, everyone from Knit Night.
Miriam. Hi, Miriam.
Christina.
Leslie.
That's pretty much it. It was a quiet night. But it was
Which is why we got a spot at the table.
Yeah. Normally by the time we get there, because we come in, it goes till 8 o'clock at night. We get there at like 7:35.
And I know Christina's just like, oh my god.
Oh no. But it was fun. It was good. So it was a good night. So should we move on to FOs? Because my head is so hot. I was working on this hat for my brother. This is for my third brother because we made 2 hats for my other 2 brothers for Christmas. And this is the hat that I made my third brother. He opted not to get a pom-pom. I gave him the choice and he said no because he wanted it to fit into his pocket. So this is 84 stitches, cast on size 6, and then I moved up to a size 8 when I went into the main body of the hat. I used basically the pattern from the Yarn Hoarder's page, her Ravelry page that she does with her pom-pom hats. She usually does it and then does the stripes and then does the solid going all the way up, but I ran out of the solid, so I did another set of stripes. And I showed it to my brother and he was fine with that. This is made,
I think it looks really cool.
I do too. I really kind of like it. This is made out of marinated DK wool. I do not have colors. It was leftovers from our
zombie cowl kit.
The zombie cowl kit. So Helen was the only one that did the zombie cowl, the zombie lamba. Everybody else had normal lambas. But it was our alpacas. It was
Dare to be different.
alpaca cowl. It was the alpaca cowl that we did for Rybeck. So really, really soft, squishy DK yarn. So this will be going up to my brother tomorrow. And I'm hoping that he's going to really like it. And actually, I think it's supposed to get cold next week.
Yeah, I think it's actually supposed to be kind of chilly tomorrow.
Yeah.
New Jersey terms.
So here we go. One hat done. Off the needles. I get to cross something off. Actually, I've crossed. This is my second thing that I'm crossing off my knitting projects for January. Because in my journal, I wrote down my knitting things, and it was this and the 100 Acre Wood. So I'm very excited about that. I feel like I'm accomplishing things. I was going to
say, getting things done.
Yeah. So you want to talk about your finished object?
My FO, I will insert a picture in. It was my pussy hat that I did for the Women's March on Saturday. The reason I cannot show it to you is because my mother has it. We went in to New York on Saturday. I got it done in time, and we were walking along, and I put my hat on my head, and as I was walking along, it just slowly went. So, it's way too small. However, when we got home, I was explaining to my mother how and she tried it on. It fits her perfectly. And
Absolutely perfect.
And she said that she would wear it and people would think she was on Fifth Avenue and she wouldn't tell them differently.
She was in the middle of the opera.
Right. We didn't actually even make it to Fifth Avenue because it was so crowded and you just couldn't move.
Oh my God.
And we had a time crunch and we knew that we weren't going to be able to get back for my mom, and we were terrified she was going to forget she brought us and leave without us.
I know. I was saying, no, it's going to be really terrible if we have to call home and say,
hello.
we're waiting. So, we went to a knitting store instead. We went to a yarn store instead. But we did see lots of people going to the march, and it was amazing. It's one of those things. It's kind of like when you see the flash mobs and stuff. I don't know what it is about me, but it just makes me very emotional.
Oh no!
You know,
and this was just.
And then you have these people that are walking. And there, some had hats on. Some were walking with signs. Men, women,
it was
children.
Every spectrum of the human race.
Yes.
I mean, you had men, you had women, obviously.
Infants.
You had whole families. I mean, they brought
Kids
their
just
kids,
skipping up and down.
And, I mean, just proudly being there. Peacefully being there. I mean, nothing happened. You had, I think, 250,000 people in New York City for this. Maybe even been more.
Oh, I think it was more.
But I mean, you had hundreds of thousands of people, and nothing happened.
No.
All you heard about was the march. You didn't hear about any
Arrests
and people were so nice.
Yeah.
You know, asking you about your hats and.
Oh, it was just it was the greatest
and
thing.
when we were in the knitting store, I mean, all we heard was either people coming in or him answering the phone saying, "No, I'm sorry, we do not have the boots." Because they had been giving them away leading up to the march, so all of a sudden everybody wanted them.
Well,
so.
one lady came in. She said, I was knitting these all week, and it was fine. Today, my 90-year-old dad comes to me and says, I want to go down to the sidewalk and wear a hat. She said, I can't get one done by the time I need to get it done. So she said, do you have any? And he said, no. We've been out. Because they said that their clientele were knitting them and just donating them to the store, and then the store was just giving them to people. Anybody who wanted one got one. So it was the coolest thing. We were on the periphery so that we saw a little bit of it. We weren't in the midst of it or anything like that. And I wish we had more time because afterthought, I would have liked to have been there seeing everybody and that sort of thing. But I do know that I do not do well in crowds at all.
And they said once you got there, you could not move, literally.
Yeah.
You couldn't go forward, you couldn't go backwards, you couldn't do anything. And once we were hearing that, it was just, we had to make the decision that we would just kind of see it from the outskirts. And we have to get a copy of Time. Because I think that's just
Have you seen the cover of Time magazine?
Awesome
That's
cover.
Awesome. If you haven't seen it, go look it up because it's just the greatest thing. So I did start a Kit Kat hat. I was doing, I don't know whether I actually showed it. I think I put it up on Instagram. I had a brown band and then I was doing it using orange and yellow worsted yarn, holding 2 strands together to do it. And it was way too small. I couldn't even get it around my head.
You have to stop.
And of course, I decided to do this on Friday. So it wasn't getting done. So I gave up the ghost on that one. I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go and be me. And that's fine. I got pink in my hair. I'm good. So that was the start of our hats. But we did go into New York with my mom. And we did find Nitty City. And we will show you we'll show you right now what we got because we actually made a small purchase while we were there.
Just small. And look at the bag they give you.
They give you cool bags.
This isn't a cool reusable bag. I mean, it could even be a project bag.
Now he's going in my project.
I was going to say, now Spike's going to start knitting.
You can't knit.
This is what I got. I got them with the intent that I would use them together.
They are really, really pretty.
Yeah. So this one is Madeline Tosh, and it's Composition Book of Gray. It's in Tosh DK. So it is 225 yards, 100 grams. This is lovely squishy DK. I deliberately went for DK because I have so much fingering and I don't have a lot of DK in worsted.
So we have never used Malintosh.
No, we got it for our mom and she's making this gorgeous sweater and she just raves about using it, but we've never actually used Tosh. And another one I haven't used, this is Malabrigo. And it is Rios. And it is pure merino superwash DK 210 yards for 100 grams.
Okay, so it's Malabrigo Rios is the name of the yarn. So there's the
this is Archangel.
Okay.
Okay. I just love these colors.
So
I picked this one first. And then I was trying to find something to go with it. And I finally settled on the composition gray. So those are my two. And they will probably be a shawl.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, look. Got yellows and all sorts of speckly goodness. So
it's really, really pretty.
So I went to do that.
Kind of the other end of the spectrum. I went lighter, but definitely my colors. I seem to go green, red, yellow, orange, that kind of thing.
And you went non-fingering too.
Right. Mine, this one is Manos del Uruguay, the Maxima, and the colorway is
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum? Dyed chrysanthemum?
No, just chrysanthemum.
Oh, okay. All right, so the colorway is chrysanthemum. And then it is 100% merino wool and approximately 219 yards.
Hold it up
and
longer.
to go with it, I was going to hold it up with this. I got this to go with it because I thought that would be a nice complement to it. This is really unusual for me to get something that doesn't have lots and lots of color in it. But this looks kind of cream, but it's actually a yellow almost. Like a buttery yellow. Because I thought those went well together. So this is, again, gorgeous. Malabrigo. Malabrigo, and it is
rattan.
Worsted rattan. Pure merino wool. It's approximately 210 yards. I don't know whether this has a color on it.
I think the rattan is the color.
Oh, okay.
Because 504 rattan.
Okay, so there you go. So there's that to go with that. I think it's really, really pretty.
I think they're gorgeous.
So I have to find something to do with this.
And it's all yarn that we haven't used before, but we've heard about.
Right.
And we've heard people rave about them. And
they're so soft.
What I couldn't get was how well priced the Malabrigo and the Maximo.
Right.
The Manos del Uruguay is.
Yeah, no, they were very well priced.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about these.
And in New York City.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Those were our grand purchases. We did not go wild. But after we were walking back and deciding that there was really no way we were getting to the march, we had probably about an hour left before my mom was going to be done with the opera. So we were thinking, okay, let's find something to do. And we saw that the American
Folk
Art Museum was across the street from Lincoln Center. So we decided we would go and check out their exhibit because Helen checked online and they were doing an exhibit of fairy tales and folklore, which is so right up our alley. I mean, we were so excited.
We were so excited. We were sitting across the street having a muffin and we're like, oh my God, it's like it was meant to be. Let's just go.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
So we went over and we went in and said to the docent, can you direct us to the fairy tale exhibit? And he said, that's in our Long Island facility. And we said, okay. And he said, but please take a look around at our current exhibit. Okay. I have to read this to you because this is the exhibit that they were doing.
Okay, so remember, fairy tales and fables.
Right.
Was what we were expecting.
What we got was...
We got a scene out of Supernatural.
Securing the shadow posthumous portraiture in America. Pictures of dead kids. That's what we got.
We got to wander around and see really, I mean, okay, I don't want to be negative because some people might like it. To our taste, really freaky pictures of dead children.
Evidently, in the 18th century, when children were dying of dysentery and cholera and that sort of thing,
Dropping like flies.
families would have their portraits painted. And they very often had them painted with the rest of their children. So they had the children that survived, and off to the side was this pale little waif that was supposed to resemble, or supposed to be the child that had died. Or you have the children sitting very nicely, and then there's a cloud with some angels in behind them. And I mean, we're walking along, and I'm saying to Helen, we watch Supernatural. This is just...
These paintings are going to come along.
They're coming to
kill us.
And then we found the...
Oh, here's Tabitha.
The little lockets that... Then they had the lockets that they had... Because photographs were just starting to come in. So they would have the photographs taken of the children.
Or, the mother holding the dead child.
It was freaky.
It really was.
And I'm not a fan of American folk art.
But we've learned.
They all look like little women.
Yeah. They all have this, oval-ish,
Little
squared,
men.
oval-ish
Not my
shaped
taste.
head and...
Not my taste at all. So, not our cup of tea at all. So we wound up the afternoon.
They had a neat gift shop.
They did. And we wound up the afternoon, the last few minutes we sat in the lobby, the downstairs lobby of Lincoln Center in it. And it was really very nice.
Yeah.
And my mother did not forget us. She came and found us, and
And we had a quick ride home and nice dinner. And
it was good. It was a lot of fun. So we are going to start making this a regular thing.
Yeah.
Whenever she goes into New York, we get a free ride. She gets somebody to drive with. It makes her a little less uncomfortable driving, especially after dark, if she has somebody else in the car. So we get to go in, and we're going to have Saturday adventures in New York.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Anybody has something they think we should do, let us know.
Yeah.
But Pearl Soho is on the list.
Next week is the gift show, so
Right.
we'll go down to the Javits Center and do the gift show. But
after that, open up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, maybe they'll be doing one of the mystery things. They do one in Central Park.
Oh yeah, that'd
Maybe
be
that'll
great.
be one
Yeah,
there.
it's Watson Adventures. They do
How cool of you to pull that out of your head like that.
Steel Trap.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. But they do mysteries in Central Park or Little Italy, or we did one at the Met one time as a family, and
The Metropolitan Museum of Art.
yeah,
Not
I'm sorry, I meant the Met Museum, and it was tons of fun, except that you get encumbered by your family.
We had a really good time.
We did. It's just that people get distracted. You're in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is not something that we frequent. It's like, oh, pretty pictures. No, it's all the mystery.
We're on a dead
Focus.
And if you haven't gotten the hint yet, we're kind of competitive. Me more so than Helen, I will admit that. But if I'm going to do this, I want to do it and finish on time.
Win, damn it.
And win. Usually by a large margin, but I'll accept. Anyway,
Accept our limitations.
right.
Finishing would be good.
Finishing would be good, and we have certain people that
I'm not as competitive.
and just want to look at the art. So we kind of left them behind at
Yeah.
certain points. But it was really, really fun because they give you a mystery and you have to solve it, and the clues are in the paintings. It's the most awesome thing.
Yeah.
And they do one for Central Park, and I knew they would do one in downtown, like Greenwich Village area, where it's with, I think, speakeasies and things like that. I think it's based all around, like, the speakeasies and stuff.
Yeah, the one in Little Italy, I think, is
is that
based
the one?
around the mall.
Yeah. It's just really, really
So
cool.
it is.
If you're in New York and you want to do something, look up Watson Adventures. But that was really
Hopefully
fun.
they're still going.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I stopped getting their emails. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
That was our adventure in New York.
the Toad's afternoon out.
Yeah. So expect more of those. We will be going out again.
Yeah.
Shall we get on to some knitting too? Because I mean,
so.
we did
That's
we did one finished object that we actually showed.
We showed our
You
purchases
start.
too.
You start because you've got way more whips than I do.
Okay.
Okay, so I only have 2. I'm working on one pretty exclusively.
I will first start. So, my Mrs. Weasley sweater. I'm going to show because
Let me know if you need me to hold anything.
I just to get untangled. I have not one sleeve. I have 2 sleeves. I have an entire body with ribbing. Look at that beautiful ribbing. That's dragon scales. Toad Hollow yarns. And I have managed
Picked up.
to pick up my button band. So, I think I have 6,000 stitches.
What size cord is that?
It's a 40.
Excuse me.
I was surprised I got it all on the 40, but it's all squished up. So, 6,000 stitches, and I have knit 1 row. I
That
consider
took
this
her a week.
a huge accomplishment. It took me 3 days. I mean, only doing like a half hour at a time to pick it all up. And part of what took so long was, and the reason I wanted to bring it up was, the pattern calls for, because it's top down, raglan style. You do a provisional cast on for the collar. And so I have never done a provisional cast on, so I, went to YouTube, and they did it via crocheting, and then you crochet the chain, and then you knit into the chain, which is what I did. And the theory is that when you get to it, all you have to do is pull the crochet, comes right out, and you have your live stitches that you can pick up. I had to cut every single loop. It took forever. And Barbara from the Flame and Fiber podcast just finished running into the same problem with a cowl that she had done. She only had 60 stitches, I think, that she had to cut. I had close to 200, I think, that we cast on. So that was a frustrating, and I will admit things may have been thrown. And it was put in timeout, and then I quickly, put on my big girl pants and took it back out and decided that I would just figure it out. But I have to figure out a new way to do a provisional cast on, because I obviously did something wrong, because at no point, even just cutting the thread, could I ever get it to just pull out. So if anybody has run into that problem and knows what they did wrong and can share, that would be
Leslie was saying something at Knit Night last night about how you have to, it depends on the loop that you go into.
Yeah, she said that usually when you knit into the loop, you could split the yarn, because usually you're not using great yarn for the
So do you knit
crochet.
into the bump?
Well, then she showed me a way where you're kind of crocheting right onto the needle. I mean, she showed me a couple stitches, and I got the idea of what she was doing, but I'm obviously going to have to go back and look again at a video and see how it's done the next time it comes up. But all of the stitches are on the needle, so now I just have to do 1 inch of button band.
Just 1 inch.
That's all she calls for, and it's 1 inch here.
Okay.
The ribbings are just 1 inch. So, and a 1/2 inch I have to stop and place my buttonholes.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is the Lifesaver sweater by Tanis Fiber Arts. I know we have mentioned it before.
And if you're watching for the first time, this is all minis that we use. That's why we're calling it our Mrs. Weasley sweaters.
I have one. I am not as far along as Helen. I am still working on my body, finishing up my body. I have my sleeves done so that I could try it on and make sure that it fit right. And when I did, I realized I wanted it a little bit longer, so I have a couple more colors to add in to finish it off.
But I'm going to have to see it soon.
Yeah,
And wear it
right.
before it gets warm.
Well, that's cool.
Unless I get distracted by something. But it's so close that I will. And I mean, I've done the worst part.
Right.
I've picked up the stitches. So now
So
I
it's just a
have to go
matter
around.
of
Yeah.
knitting.
It takes about a 1/2 hour to go all the way around once. But she calls for a knit 1, purl 1 rib,
Yeah.
but I'm doing knit 2, purl 2 with that many stitches.
Okay.
That is one whip.
Do you want to do another one? How many do you have?
I have 2 more.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'll do one. We'll trade. My January socks have come along a little bit. I am doing the business casual socks by, I think, Tennis Fiber Arts, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Business casual socks in Vivid yarn in their crazy quilt colorway. 64 stitches, size 2. What needles did we say these were?
I think with the Nooner's Pride.
Oh, okay. So, you didn't just pull out my stitches, did you?
No, it was broken.
Okay.
Just gonna hold this and pull your stitches out, okay?
Anyway, I had gotten probably 8 or 9 rounds into the pattern and realized that I had dropped a stitch all the way down there, and it's got a cable going through it, and I had absolutely no idea of how to get the cable to pull the stitch up through the cable. So I had to frog it back to the ribbing and start over again. So I have really not gotten very far. I am supposed to be done these by the 31st of January. This is sock 1. I haven't even started sock 2 yet. So I think I'm going to have to admit a fail in the socket for the Knotty Knitwood socket.
Well, just for January.
For January. I will start again in February and hopefully
Got it.
be able to get that one done a little bit faster. As
That's
well as
right.
finish this one and, you know, the other pair of socks that I'm working on. I will get them done. I
They're
will
beautiful.
get them done. So they are. They're really, really pretty. I
The
like
yarn
them
is
very
gorgeous.
much. But yeah, those are my business casual socks, and they're coming along.
Just
I will now move my stitch markers so that next time I'll be able to show you where I was. Okay, go ahead.
so. Sorry, I forgot which one. Since my Kit Kat hat did not work for me on Saturday, and I gave it to my mom, I decided I would make myself a new one. But I used all the pink yarn that I had, so I decided that since we are yarn dyers, we should have samples of our yarn knit up. So I am using Toad Hollow yarn confuzzled, and as you can tell, I'm really good at making cakes. Actually, our ball winder, this is DK weight, our ball winder is the Knit Picks ball winder, and it really does not like anything heavier than fingering, so it gets to a certain point and it sends the ball flying across the room.
Always fun,
Yes. So,
especially with animals.
so this is the Kit Kat hat, and this is how the confuzzled knits up. So I
Very
have
cool.
my ribbing. It's 84 stitches. I'm doing a 2x2 rib.
So what did you have the last time?
It was worsted,
Right, and how many
and
stitches?
I only did 60.
Okay.
So with the DK, and I know that it fit because we did the hats for Christmas,
Right.
and with my gauge, because I'm a looser knitter than you are, I know that will fit fine.
Okay.
So, so I'm going to do 20 rows of ribbing. I may actually be almost there, and then I'm going to go straight up for the Kit Kat hat, and I will have my version of the pussy hat.
That you'll be able to wear all
Right.
the time.
So.
I'm going to.
And since we are, a movement now, I think we should wear our pussy hats all the time.
I'm going to make mine. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm definitely going to make mine again.
So I'm really thrilled with how the yarn is knitting up. It's confuzzled. There's a lot in there, but it's really kind of cool.
Confused
So.
is a mixture of, or confuzzled is a mixture of confused and puzzled. That's where we
Yeah.
looked up a nonsensical word, and because it really does have a lot going on.
Yeah.
In it. However, it's very cool. I love the way it's knitting up.
Yeah.
I love the little pools of blue.
Yeah, and the hyacinth really comes through.
Yeah.
The purple. So
Very,
Very
very
cool.
pretty. Very pretty.
hopefully next week I might be wearing it.
Yeah.
Because once you get the ribbing done, then it's just.
This is the project that I have been working on pretty much exclusively. I am doing a test knit for the Wool Club, and it is the geode shawl. Cowl. The geode cowl. And it is a paid for pattern that is not out yet because, test it and everything, but here we go. All right. This is where I am so far. It is color work. And look, Barbara, I'm doing a Latvian braid too. I did it. And actually following the directions, it was not terrible. It was a little...
Absolutely gorgeous.
It is. It's very, very pretty.
Especially with the red and white. It's very Scandinavian.
Yeah, I am not comfortable doing color work yet. So that is my only thing. I'm getting the whole strands twisted, and do I knit with this one? I'm trying to teach myself, and I'm getting myself there where I'm doing it two-handed. So I have one color going in my left hand and one color going in my right hand, but I'm so used to continental knitting where I just flick with my left hand that I have to go back and double check and make sure that I didn't use the wrong color by mistake. But what it does is you knit half the inside because it's got an inside lining. So you knit half the inside.
Now you did a professional cast off of this too, right?
Yes, you can see the pink there. So that's going to be interesting when I have to, pull all that out.
And did you do it the same way?
I watched
Were you
a
knit
video.
into the chain, or did you?
No, I did not crochet this. I
Oh,
knit
okay.
this. This was a knitted one.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, this
I
was
hear
a knitted
something.
one.
It's an experiment.
Yes. So what you do is it's got the lining. So you knit half the lining like this, and then you purl a row, and she's got a thing where you connect it so that this will just fold over neatly and
It's really kind of fascinating.
yeah, go in, and then you do your Latvian braid, and then you go into the color work with following patterns. I am following a chart. She gives you both written, line by line written, and the chart. I am following the chart because I find it easier to do so. So that's as far as I've gotten.
Is your gauge getting tighter, do you think, or no?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I really have no idea because I haven't done that many rows of it yet, so that I can't. It's too close to the needle to see, So I'm going to be able to see in a little bit.
So I'm not sure you can get tighter.
However, you can see the back where I'm carrying things. It's not terribly tight.
No, and your floats are beautiful.
It's nice and. Oh, look, you can see the pattern in the back.
Yeah.
With the floats too. I don't know whether I'm holding it down below the thing, but you can see it's a diamond pattern. So you can see it in the float and then in the front. And then the inside, the lining will come over and completely block all the floats so that you won't see anything. And also be nice and soft against your neck.
It's going to be warm.
Yes, really warm, because I'm doing this on 3s because to get the gauge that she wanted, I'm doing it on a size 3. So it's very, it's small. I am using Vintage DK, Barocco Vintage DK. So it's a mixture of acrylic and wool. I think it's knitting up really nicely. It's very, very soft. And the great thing about it, especially with it being white, is I'm going to be able to throw it through the washing machine. So that, because I think having chosen this winter white to knit in, it might get dirty a little bit. So, but then I can just throw it in. So next week, I hope to have a lot more done so that you can really see the pattern and everything. But it's really very, very pretty. And it's really interesting doing this color work. I'm really getting intrigued by it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And the red and white was such a great choice.
Yeah, it's time consuming. It's very time consuming. Just because, as I said, I am not used to working with 2 colors yet. So
And it's a semi-intricate pattern that you have to pay attention to.
Right. So as I go along, I hope to get faster. But, yeah.
How many pattern repeats do you have to do?
I don't know.
Okay. Just curious how close you're getting.
This is half.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you got a lot.
This is half. From here to here is half of it. So, yes, there's quite a bit. And I need to be done this by February 12th. Panicking just a little bit. So this is why I have been working mostly on this. I really haven't done anything on my Mrs. Weasley, and I've put maybe 1 or 2 rows on my other pairs of socks, but other than that, I have not done anything because this has been taking all my time. So this is my main focus. But carry on.
Focus, focus, focus.
Right, carry on. Okay.
So I am doing another sample of our yarn. And this is the Spring is Coming colorway.
That's so pretty.
Sorry, put it right over you.
That's right.
It's a DK, and I'm doing the Chicken Scratch Cowl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I chose it because they said it's for speckly yarns. It's supposed to combat pooling, which I don't necessarily mind, but I found that interesting, so I decided that I would try it out. So this is where I am so far. And chicken scratch is a good term for it, because there's really no stitch definition. It's just kind of like a mishmash. It's a very short rib. It's just like 3 rows of rib. And then there's some yarn overs. It's slip knits and things, but so I'm going to be interested to see. I mean, obviously I'm on the fence as to whether I actually like how it's knitting up. I mean, I love how the color's knitting up.
Right.
I'm not sure I like the pattern. So I will keep going.
I love the yarn.
I love how the yarn is knitted.
The yarn is gorgeous.
I mean, you
The
get
turquoise is just brilliant.
got the pops of pink over here, and the turquoise, and I love it. And it's a lavender base. So.
It's so pretty. So pretty.
Yeah.
Lavender base?
The hyacinth. It looks like.
Oh, the hyacinth. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking of the scent. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. How did you... We have sachets of lavender, and I didn't figure out what she's talking about. Okay. All right.
So, that is my chicken scratch cowl. I'm doing it, I mean, not that we've really talked about needles, but they're on my Knitter's Pride marbles.
What size?
7. So, and the marbles are great for like DK weight yarn, and so.
Very cool. Very cool.
Really love how the yarn is knitting up.
Yes, I really like that a lot. That actually would be a very pretty sweater.
Yes, it would.
Interesting.
So,
Very
yeah.
interesting. That it.
That's our whips.
Those are our whips. That's as far as we've gotten with
this
our
weekly
whips.
podcasting.
I know.
Can't get a ton of done.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, what's coming up soon? What that we want to do soon? Well, you know how we feel about Helen Stewart, right? We've mentioned Helen Stewart once or twice on the podcast. We signed up for her we signed up for her shawl society. Helen is knitting one now, and you finished one?
Yes, I did the talisman, and I am working on the amulet.
Okay, so Helen finished one and is working on another one. I have started one. Out of 6, I have started one. 5. Out of 5, I've started one. But I now have all these shawl patterns waiting for me.
No
So-
wonder.
All right, maybe 6. I've started 1 out of 6. So then we signed up for
Since we were
Knitbent.
such rock stars
Right.
in Shawl Society, we decided
We're going to
that
sign up for
during the
Knitbent.
busiest month of the year, of course,
We're going to
we
get
can knit
all
new
this
patterns.
stuff.
Yeah.
So we now have 6 more patterns, I think. Have done none of them.
That was Knitbent.
But we're going to do them because
Actually, yeah, because I love like the hats and
Yeah.
the mittens and everything. Yeah.
they're very, very cool. So love the patterns and everything. I did her 100 Acre Wood Shawl that I loved. So she came out and said, I'm doing a mystery cowl. Would you like to join us? She sent it to me personally. Nobody else.
So, hey, Mary Beth, I was thinking, what do you think?
Right.
And I was
Anyway.
like, that's awesome. I will fail at that too.
Yeah, we are going to do her mystery cowl because we are lemmings when it comes to Helen Stewart, and we will say yes.
Well, we've always wanted to do a mystery cowl.
Yes.
Because I love the idea of not knowing and just, seeing it as it grows.
Right.
And who better to do it with
Right.
than Helen Stewart?
So she's doing a mystery cowl starting February 3rd that's going to be called the Snow Melt. And we are doing it. We had such a lovely time picking out yarn to do the snow
Right.
melt. And then, let me tell you about this whole, not knowing how it's going to be. I said to Helen, I had picked out my colors. I knew what I was doing here. I will show you, okay? So, I got from a swap, it was the book swap, I think. I got a cake of gum blossom yarns. This is from Australia. It is spectacularly beautiful. I am just so in love with this yarn. It's gorgeous. I have saved it because I wanted to do something really special with it.
And
So,
it's all naturally dyed.
right.
That's her thing. All natural dyes.
It's just so beautiful. I love it. And I love the colors. I love everything about it. Helen got this, and she said that I could use these as part of the thing. So you put this.
Hi, Mary. Thank you very much.
With these, okay? And you can kind of see where it's going. And I just figured I needed one more color to round it out. And then I said to Helen, I was taking a shower and I was thinking, I know exactly how I want this to be. And in a mystery cow, I don't know what's going where. I'm going to be so upset if this doesn't go the way I want it to, because I can see it in my head exactly the way I want it to be. Because it's going to be the gum blossom on top, and then it's going to be this in stripes with the gum blossom, and then I needed a sage green, so I dyed a sage green to go with it. Look at these. How beautiful are those going to be together? They're gorgeous. And I knew exactly how it was supposed to come out. And then I realized the way it's supposed to come out is the 100-acre wood shawl. That's exactly what I saw it as. So I'm going to be making another 100-acre wood shawl with these yarns. And now I have to pick another set of yarns for the snow melt because these are now taken. Because it has to go the way I see it in my head. It's beautiful in my head. It has to go that way. So I will be doing Helen's store, just a different color shawl with this. So once I'm done the geocal, this baby's getting cast on because I cannot wait to see
And the
this.
mystery cow, because you have to do the mystery cow.
I am. So I just have to find new yarn for that. But,
So, while we were doing that, I found mine.
yeah, Helen was very good and actually found one that's going to work.
So, this is a hedgehog sock yarn that the lovely Teresa sent us. Thank you very much. And it's just my colors, and the snow melt is supposed to be going into spring, so those are the colors I'm going with. And then Mary Beth, we did kind of a swap. So she took my Wonderland yarn, so I took her Once Upon a Corgi Rhinebeck color. And then I needed something to even it out to be the third color
To wind it up.
And we were thinking like a buttery yellow that we would have to find. So when we were at midnight last night, I was taking my skeins around and trying to find something, and I found a couple that would work, but then I held this up
Oh my god.
and oh my god,
Oh my god.
I don't know whether I can wait till Thursday.
It's so beautiful.
So this is Chelsea Yarns, Chelsea Luxe, and it is,
she did tweed, right?
yeah, it's BFL Donegal sock yarn. It's 438 yards, 85% BFL superwash, 15% nylon, and it's a tweedy kind of.
And what's the name of it?
It is Prince's Folly. So
Look at those together.
and the three together, it's just.
Oh my god.
I have decided that I do not want to find my fade. Just various reasons, but anybody who's been doing them in the pastel-y colors, that's what makes me want to do the fade,
Right.
because I just love those color combinations. So this is my pastel-y. It's so pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
I just can't wait. So now I have to decide. I have to go in and look at the clues and decide who gets to go first.
Well, there's supposed to be, she said, a light, a medium, and a darker color.
Right.
So she may have it that the light goes here, the
Right.
medium goes there, and the darker goes there. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah. So, and they're all just, oh my god.
They're beautiful.
Because the Once Upon a Corgi has got cashmere in it. The hedgehog is so soft and squishy. So, I just
Friday. We get to do it Friday.
Yeah.
Friday the 3rd.
Thursday, I think it comes out. The 2nd.
Is it the 2nd?
I'm pretty sure it's
third.
the 2nd.
Okay, well,
yeah, Groundhog. Because
the 2nd would
Groundhog
make
Day
sense.
makes sense.
Because she usually does it on Thursdays, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
Very
All right.
excited.
Yes. Okay. Since I showed it to you, shall we go into the yarn next?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so we spent a day dyeing yarn, and we did 6 colors. We can show you 5 of them because we dyed our first one for our first destination of our sock yarn club.
Which, just very quickly.
Came out so much better than I expected.
Oh, it's so pretty.
I adore it. I cannot wait to knit in it. But our sock yarn destination club is travel through your imagination. We are going to 6 different destinations from books that we loved growing up and now. And
Sorry. Tea's cold.
we have picked our 6 destinations, and the first one I'm so excited about. We dyed it the other day, and it's just gorgeous. So,
And if you want to join, we have a couple spots open still, and you have up until Wednesday to join. So,
right, to get this first installment.
to be included in the first installment. You can join to go months 2 through 5 after Wednesday, but to be included in the first month. It's,
Right.
Wednesday's the cutoff. So you can go to our website or Etsy and join up.
And you can get it singly. You can get it in 3-month increments or 6-month increment.
Right.
And we are so excited. We've had quite a few people sign up, and we're really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, can you tell? I'm just like practically birthed. Anyway, but we dyed the first one, and I just adore it. I love it. On to the others.
Yes.
We dyed 5 others. I showed you the first one. This is parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And this is going to be, I'm taking one of the skeins and using this as my 3rd color for my 100-acre shawl. This is fingering weight, 80-20, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And
It's a
right in front of
3-ply.
my face.
It's a 3-ply, so it's really plump and squishy.
Yes. There you go. Thank you.
Horace isn't here. So.
410 yards. So, this one, you would think that it goes from like a dark blue down to like a celery green. It's all green.
Yeah.
It's all the same color green, just different
Tones.
tones of it, but so pretty. I love it. It came out so much better than I thought. But
cool.
that's parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Okay, this is yours. You want to show that?
This is Fairy Mouse. And this one, this was one of the ones where I had something in my head. I dyed it in the pot. I despised it in the pot. But I've learned enough to wait until it dries because everything dries differently than it looks in the pot. And now I'm just absolutely in love with it.
Yeah.
The pinks are just...
And the brown offsets it. It's not all pink. The brown offsets it so that it's got a couple of different color browns in there and little pops of red tucked into the brown too.
So this also is on our Drusilla base. So it's the fingering weight.
And the 80% merino, 20% nylon.
Right.
Really, really fun.
Can't wait to
lovely
knit
stuff.
that one.
And then the 3rd one we dyed in the Drusilla was our destination one. And then we dyed 3 colors on worsted weight. These are 100 grams, 175 yards, and this is 100% superwash merino. This is the King of the Forest. This is based on the lion, the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz. So, the red is the bow that he wears on his tail at the end.
This is just the different browns and everything. It just came out so great.
Right. So we have these. These will all be listed on our website.
Hopefully today. Maybe tomorrow.
Depending on when you see this.
Go with tomorrow.
Yeah. Today is Friday,
The 27th.
January 27th.
Yep.
So, yeah. Probably tomorrow, Saturday. But yeah, again, depending on when you see us.
This is the haunted forest from The Wizard of Oz, where they find the king of the forest. It's lovely greens and browns. And just little pops of red for the apples that they threw at them.
The trees throw at them. I love that.
And then
Final one.
final one is Poseidon. And that's different shades of blue and some green. Try not to move it too much. I think I hold it up here forever, and then when I'm editing the podcast, it's like I'm doing this.
Not to make you dizzy or anything. Take off the 3D glasses because all of a sudden the yarn's coming right at you. Okay, so again, this is the worsted weight is 100% merino wool, 100 grams, 175 yards, and the fingering is 80% merino or superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams, 410 yards. So that's my big thing for information for that. So those are the ones that we dyed so far, and we will be continuing to dye because we're having such a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Although you would never know in the morning leading into it because we just get totally stressed out and snap at each other, and then but once we start dyeing, it's good. It's just leading into it.
There's always so much more than you think.
Yeah, oh yes.
I mean, you think you're just going to come downstairs and dye. You got to tie off the yarn. You've got to soak the yarn. You've got to mix the dyes, and then by the time you're actually dyeing yarn, it's like I'm tired. I want to go.
All right. We have been going for quite a while, so should we wrap it up?
I think so. I think we're good. So.
I think we have just a very, very quick reading, writing, watching. We have started, well, we actually started and finished the first season of Fleabag. My brother gave this to me for my birthday. It is a British show. It is hysterically funny. It is so not safe for work or children or anything else. As a matter of fact, you might want to watch it in a dark room all by yourself.
I believe my brother handed it to us and go, it's filthy. We will never discuss it.
It's very,
but
very
it's
funny.
really good.
It's very funny.
It's very funny and it's very poignant and it's very, very well done.
Yes.
So,
filthy.
Yeah.
Forward that. Okay.
But highly recommended.
Yes. Gonna say it fits our sense of humor. Okay, and then you have the new podcast to recommend, right?
Oh yes, Barbara from the Flaming Fiber podcast mentioned that she had gotten a tutorial from the Corner of Craft, so I went and found her, and she's got a podcast too, and she is a British woman who is living in Germany at the moment, and she does all sorts of crafts. Crocheting was her first main thing, and now she's knitting too. So, and she's a lot of fun to watch. So, I really enjoyed watching her episode. So, it's Hannah from the Corner of Craft.
There you go. Has the Toad Hollow seal of approval.
Yes.
All right. Because that means so much. But we enjoy it.
Yep.
Okay. I think that does it, right? I think we are done.
I think we are good.
We have chatted your ear off enough. So we are going to wind this up and say, go forth and knit.
Go forth and knit.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.